Evening, everybody. It's 8:35 on Sunday evening, the 22nd, and this is your first look at Sunday night futures. The chart on the screen is the silver, and actually, I'll get rid of that, but I do want to come back to it. Okay, grains are slightly lower tonight. Oil down 30 cents after last week's great one. I want to show you what that looks like also. Um, Heating oil and gasoline down about a penny. Net gas is up about 9 cents, so nothing overwhelming. We have the gold continuing to move higher and silver doing some pretty nice catching up on Friday, while the gold was up on the day and for the week the gold was up on the week. Silver was actually down on the week. Copper up another 3 cents, and that looks just great. As far as the softs, they're not open yet. Stock futures really doing very little. S&P down 3. Still having a problem with 4,000 on the cash. So we'll have to see what that looks like. NASDAQ down 13. Dow down 22. Russell down less than a point. Dollar is a little bit weaker. Bonds are a little bit higher, which figures. And Bitcoin is making yet another new recovery high off the last couple of days. Ethereum is just slightly lower. Okay, I wanted to show you what the gold and the silver looked like. And it's an interesting contrast. The gold has had a really nice run up, and every once in a while you'll see one of them will run ahead or behind. So I want you to remember what this looks like. We came off this bottom and rallied from a little over 1600 straight up into this running correction around 1800 and moved higher, and we are running right into all of this supply at the, let's call it, 1950 level. But very impressive that it held, mostly held above the 200-week MA. Now, remember what this looks like. It's had a nice run up with one running correction. Looking at the silver, silver actually broke to the downside before the gold did, but it also has spent a lot more time. Remember, this consolidation in here in the gold was less than half the time, probably less than a third of the time that we spent going sideways here. We came back up and broke out, and now where we have a running correction and follow through to the upside in the gold, the silver has yet to break out. We've traded this. We traded it last week or the week before profitably. Great trade. What I'm looking to do now, and I'm sorry I missed it, let's make this a little bigger. Okay, I would like to be a buyer anywhere near these lows, 2340, 2350 in this area. Using a stop, the low close here is 23.25, and on that day, if you recall, it was up $1.64. So a nice little correction in here, nice consolidation. If it goes through the top, I don't see how they hold it much below. Let's take a look. Much below, this 27 and a quarter, 27 and a half area, and that is really a nice trade. Okay, another one that's been consolidating and acting really well is the oil. This China reopening, we'll see how that works. To go from zero tolerance to, hey, let's everybody get out there and party for the Lunar New Year is, interesting. But what's really interesting to me here is after making the high and then making a lower high and breaking to the downside, we have now spent, with the exception of in here, but looking, even forgetting all of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have spent 9 of the last 11 or 12 weeks closing at or above $80. $80 has been the magnet, and rightly so. I mean, we ran up and consolidated here, and then when after hitting that $80 repeatedly, we had a little consolidation, and then we had a 5 week run from 80 to 130. Okay, lower high, break to the downside. This one has not broken below the 200 week. And what we did have here, and I'll show you, what we did have here is a new recovery high close. We closed 81.64 on Friday, and that was up $1.50. But more importantly, um, the next highest close on the way down was 84.65, and that was on a week where oil was down $8 a barrel. So if we can hold in this area and start to move back up, I don't see much trouble until about, let's just call it 86 and a half, 87 and a half. And frankly, it could be much higher if this reopening in China holds. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to show you. Oh, well, it's always worth it to take a look at the copper because that has acted so well. It's remarkable that this went from, $2 and change up to a new all-time high at 503.95, so 504. But look at how fast we came down. 40%. But now we've tried to rally to the point of the last area, came down and made a higher low, rallied again, has consolidated across. And if this looks familiar to you right in here, that's pretty basically, without the breakup to the upside, exactly what the silver looks like. So, this is going to be a tough row to hoe between 4.25 and let's say 450, but it's had a nice move and it's consolidating nicely. All right, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and I'll be back first